Good morning. So I guess I can start this off. It was my middle school years, and they were definitely interesting, to say the least. I struggled most with making good, strong friendships, with making the right choices. Most of the adults in my school knew me, and not always for the good reasons. To them, I was just this sweet girl who just fell down the wrong path. Which, if you would have talked to me then, I would have said, no way, it wasn't true. That everything was great and it couldn't have been better. But I was wrong. Looking back, it was all just a mess. My friend group had good people in it, but we just couldn't make the best choices together. So, sorry. I will say my faith then was not strong, and it was barely hanging on by a thread. Nothing seemed to be going right, so I just wanted to give up and not care. Well, I guess you could say that got turned around. My 7th grade year, we had a lockdown, and no one knew what was going on. We spent the rest of the day not able to leave our room other than for lunch. By the end of the school, some words had gotten around saying that some girl had gotten hurt. The next day, I had went to school and found out it was one of my friends from my 6th grade year. She had tried to commit suicide. The whole school just seemed off by this. She was always the one who had a smile, always helped when she could, and was always there when you needed her. I couldn't for the life of me wrap my head around the fact that she almost died. They had gotten her to the hospital, and she was on life support. But before her parents could decide whether or not to take her off or keep her on, her body had already started shutting down. I think that was her way of not having to make her parents choose. I remember my mom calling me into her room, and as soon as I saw the look on her face, I knew she was gone. I remember bawling my eyes out. I didn't want her to be gone at all. I cried so much that night, and so many nights after, I didn't know a person could cry that much. It didn't feel the same going to school. It wasn't fun. It was tiring and sad. I didn't like it. Everyone was so quiet. I had never heard of hall schools as quiet as they were. It didn't feel real. I didn't want it to be real. Even as I went to her funeral, but it was, and she was gone. I remember almost falling when I saw her, my body not wanting to work. After I had questioned everything about my faith, because why would God take her away from us? With all the questions boiling in my head, I couldn't answer them all. So I started doubting things. I didn't want to doubt my faith, but I did. So I went to Corey, and I asked so many questions, and he could answer everything. He helped fill my doubts. Anytime I questioned something, I went to him, and he never got tired of my questions or laughed. He was always there with answers, and that's what I needed. With that, this Bible verse really helped me get through. In this verse, Jesus says, "In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, because I have overcome the world." John 16:33. For me, it meant there's going to be bad things that happen, but God overcomes every one of them. Now I know when I'm having a hard time or not doing the best, I can turn to God. I know He's going to listen when I talk, just like my parents have always listened to me. I know sometimes I'm a mess, and I make things really hard to deal with, but they've always been able to put up with it. And I know they love me no matter what I do. And God blessed me with a great loving mother and father, and I love them both so much. Without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today. To my mom, thank you for being strong when I couldn't. And thank you for always being there and putting up with me and helping me, even if it meant you had to give something else up. To you all, thank you for listening, and this was my faith story. Have a blessed day.